Hey guys, it's Gina. Welcome to the place where your growth meets mine. Let's talk. Most of us are extremely good at being somewhere else. And I'm not talking about physical somewhere else, but mentally. We are rarely here. We are usually 5 minutes in the future. Replaying a conversation that hasn't happened yet. Or 5 years in the past, arguing with a version of someone that no longer exists. And maybe right now you are listening while doing something else. Washing the dishes, lying in your bed, pretending you're not thinking about anything. But you are. And somewhere inside your head, there is this quiet assumption that says, yeah, I'll feel better later. Not now, later. Later, when things get right. Later, when things calm down. Later, when things become figured out. Later, when I become slightly more acceptable version of myself. And if that assumption is the only thing standing between you and feeling okay right now, what would you do? The strange thing is that we never say, I'll breathe later, I'll exist later. But we do say, I will allow myself to feel better later. And today I want to sit here with you, not to motivate you, not to hype you up, not to fix you, but to look calmly, slowly, almost curiously, looking at the idea that every single moment is already a moment for happiness. Even this one. Yes, especially this one. Now let's be honest. When you hear something like every moment is a perfect moment to trigger a positive thought, your brain immediately goes, okay, sure, easy for you to say so. And that reaction makes sense because most of the time this idea is presented badly. It's usually wrapped in forced smiles, loud music, and people telling you to just think positive, while clearly ignoring reality. But we're not doing that. This is not pretending everything is fine. It's not about denying the pain. It's not about lying to yourself so that you can survive your own life. I don't like how that sounds though. But we're talking about truths here. So it's about something much more uncomfortable, but much more freeing. It's about realizing that happiness is not something that arrives when circumstances cooperate. It's something that appears when attention shifts. And attention is one of the few things in life that we actually have. And let me tell you a secret. Attention is sacred, is gold. Here is something that no one explains to you. Between what happens to you and how you feel about it, there is a gap. A tiny one, almost unnoticeable. Inside that gap, there is no control over events, people, outcomes, timing, or past decisions. But there is a choice about interpretation. And that choice doesn't feel dramatic. It feels small, almost boring, which is why most people ignore it. Your brain is designed to scan problems. That's not a flaw, actually, that's survival. But the problem starts when you confuse useful awareness with permanent emotional residence. What does that mean? For example, you notice something negative and you move in. You unpack, you redecorate, you invite friends. And suddenly that moment is gone. Not because it was a bad moment, but because your mind felt it. Here is one thing that nobody tells you. Happiness. It doesn't require excitement. In fact, your nervous system prefers safety over intensity. Dopamine isn't only released when something amazing happens. It's released when the brain senses meaning and gentle novelty as well. You don't need fireworks. You don't need success or external validation. All it takes is noticing. I am here and nothing terrible is happening in this exact second. That realization alone can soften the body. Shoulders drop, jaw relaxes, breath deepens. And from that state, positive thoughts don't feel forced. They feel allowed. Think about how random happiness actually is. It shows up while you're drinking water, or standing in line, or hearing in a sound that reminds you of something you didn't know you missed. It never asks for permission from your plans. And yet, we keep waiting for that right moment. That sounds like as if life sent us a calendar invite entitled Happiness, Wednesday, 3 p.m. But happiness doesn't announce itself when your resistance leaves. When we say every moment is a perfect moment, we are not only saying that every moment is usable, but we are saying even uncomfortable moments are usable. That's the key point. Because discomfort often means that you are present, and presence is where choice lives. But let's be real. Most of us are walking around waiting for our life to start, while actively living it. We say things like, once I get through this phase, as if life is a tutorial level we've been stuck in for years. Maybe that's okay. Maybe we don't need to be enlightened. Maybe we just need to stop postponing permission. So what does this actually look like? Not affirmations screamed in the mirror. Not pretending you're grateful while grinding your teeth. It looks like this. You notice the moment. You notice the reaction, your reaction. And instead of following it blindly, in that pause, you gently ask, what thought would soften this moment, even even by 5%. Not fix it, not transform it, just soften it. And sometimes the answer is nothing profound. It's, at least I am breathing. At least I am here. At least this isn't forever. And that's enough. So maybe the idea isn't that every moment is perfect. Maybe the idea is that every moment allows a choice. And that choice doesn't demand effort. It asks for permission. Permission to feel okay. Permission to feel okay without a reason, and to stop waiting. Permission to let happiness be simple. Because happiness doesn't arrive when life finally arrives. Happiness appears when you stop resisting the moment that you are already in. Even this one. Hey guys, it's Gina. Welcome to the place where your growth meets mine. I'll see you next time.